Sorry, we're not quite on time. Andy, are we, Jenny, are you okay? Oh, we are recording. Okay, are you okay with the recording here,
Yes,
Jenny?
that's great. Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. Well, thank you for those of you that are here. I'm sure we'll have some stragglers signing on. Very, very honored and happy and grateful to have Jennie Wolek here from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Just found out a little bit about Jenny's team, and with a little team of 7 people, so far they've done 120 closed and pending transactions. Ugh, makes me feel like a slacker.
Well, here's the thing. You still have made more money, I bet. So let's not talk about that.
Let's take the money out of it. We're not talking about money. Let's talk about
Isn't that what
effort.
matters, really?
Let's talk about the effort that you have to put into that. And I think, one of, I really appreciate you coming on with us, because although you have this massive production, you have a very balanced life. And I think that's one of the things that I was really looking forward to having you share is, okay, yeah, you got to be busy and you've got to work hard. But what are you doing to counterbalance that? So
Yeah.
I think without further ado, I'm going to let you take the floor.
Well, thank you guys. I'm so excited to be with you today. I have a presentation that we can dive into, and I'm just so honored that, because honestly, like Irene was saying, you have to have this counterbalance. And I've been in the business 19 years, and I'm from Tulsa, Oklahoma. I ran off to the University of Oklahoma, a couple hours away from me, for undergrad and my master's degree, then finally made my way back home. And I have been in real estate so long, and back then I wasn't with this amazing company, Keller Williams, so I didn't know how to be a real estate agent. I mean, quite simply, I was just a lead receiver. I would go sit at an open house and smile, and hopefully someone would pick me to ask them to help. Yes, Boomer Sooner. Nice, Philip. Thank you. And or whoever that is in the room there. And hi. And I never learned how to be a professional, proactive business person like we know we should be today. We're so blessed at this company to have these books, these models, these systems, these tools that teach us how to have a big, awesome, balanced life. It sounds like you've taken Bold there in your area. I'm quite a fan. I've taken it a few times, like 18. And I feel that is really who I am, and how I have built my business, and how I've built our mindset and our culture for our team. So that's what we'll talk about here today, is just how you dream big and how you set your business forward in motion to achieve those goals, because we can get really out of balance in this business, as you guys know. It sounds like you have a hot market, and you have for a long time, so you understand the urgency. You also understand, like Irene had to go on a staycation to get some reconnection with your family, because that's what we have to do. We have to understand, as Gary says, this counterbalance of, life is about these bouncing balls, and work and things like that are rubber balls. You drop something, it'll bounce back up. But your family, your faith, your things that really matter to you are glass balls. If those drop on the ground and you totally drop the ball, those are shattered and hard to get back. So that's why it's so important to me to always share the message with real estate agents. I've gotten to discover over all my years in this business is that I truly love sharing and empowering real estate agents so that they do not have to take all this time that it took me to figure out how to have a counterbalanced life. So we'll just dive into this presentation that I have here created. It's kind of a mini version of a new workshop that I just created that's called Mirror My Business. And I just put, because I have the Facebook group that's just for real estate agents. If you guys aren't in it, just ask to join. It's called Your Journey with Jennie. And in that group, I started it years ago because I love systems, I love tools, I love sharing with agents. So I just would have a system or an idea or a video of something, and I would post it in there. And then people would say, hey, how do you do this? Or send me a Facebook message or a text or whatever it is. And I would say, well, just go to that group and search it. And I was like, why don't I put it in a little bit more of an organized fashion? So I created a class called Mirror My Business. So we'll dive into that. Like Irene said, I'm in Tulsa. I have a small team, and we've been staying positive and productive through all these days of COVID. And a lot of that is just really from all of my background of being super involved. We're on the James Shaw Pivot Shift Ahead calls every single morning. I hope that you guys are as well. That's a great way to start your day. What time is that for you guys in your area?
It's 8 a.m.
Okay.
So perfect way to start the day.
Perfect. Awesome. All right. Well, let's see if I can dive into my screen here. And of course, we have a small group, so I'm super fine with us having intimate conversation along the way. So if you have questions or concerns or anything, you just let me know. So tell me, can you see my screen?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes, perfect.
Okay, cool. So I'm gonna see if I can do this so I can see past you guys. All right, so here we go. The reason I had come up with this theme is because it really does fit into exactly who we are as a team here in Tulsa. You know, we got to understand our mission and our purpose in life and in our business. And when we do, we're going to have a lot of fun while we're helping lots of families and stay focused on our production. And that's who we are. So there we go. So we know that everything starts with our mindset. If you guys are bold, you understand that we start with affirmations. We start our day with gratitude. We start our day with I am statements. And this is really what's helped us over this since mid-March of this new world for us is immediately, luckily we had this book that gave us the tactics on how to handle this chaos and newness of a shifting market. We didn't know what was going to happen back then. And I had those days of adrenaline rushes of what the heck, what do we do? And then when I just took a minute and took a deep breath, I was like, wait, I already know what to do. Gary Keller's already told us what to do. I just need to get my book out and remember what to do. And so it's funny because I had started a plan that I was going to do a book club this year for my closed Facebook group. And I picked Shift because we've been hearing that it's going to come. And we also know that there's 12 tactics. There's 12 months in a year. So it's like, oh, I'll just break up the tactics over the month. I'll interview somebody. We'll do a video. Well, then all this hit. So I fast forwarded those book clubs. So we're almost all the way through the book and, a little over halfway through the year. So mindset matters, and you guys understand that instantly as a team. And I don't know if you guys have teams or you're a solo agent. Either way, we got to start this way. So instantly as a team, we hopped on. We were already in a great habit of doing a morning huddle, and we did it in those days before COVID. We did it by Google Hangout. So we would call each other, drive into work with the kids, whatever it is, at 8:15 a.m. And so we were just sharing our gratitude and our goals for the day. And so instantly now nobody has to drive a kid to school. So we all just hopped on Zoom instead. And it was great because we got to get into production faster. We got to get moving on our day faster. So we shared our gratitude. We shared our goals for the day. And then me and the agents, and we are still doing this to this day, get back on Zoom together from 9 to 11 every single day. 9 to 11 on Zoom. We just mute ourselves and we lead generate. So that has really helped hold in these days of chaos, in these days of kids at home, different schedules, spouses around, all of this. It's really kept us focused on what matters because we know our number one job description as a real estate agent is
lead generating.
Information. So if we can hold ourselves to that, that's how we are at 120 pending and closed so far this year because we haven't taken our eyes off the prize. We had a big goal this year of 185 families. And we thought instantly, do we adjust? And I was like, let's just see. Let's just keep pushing forward. So we haven't had to adjust because we've stayed positive and productive. So mindset's everything. And we just know that we're a culture of grit and growth mindset. And that's who we look for in people who want to be in our world. Everything I ever talk about ever is going to start with the 6 personal perspectives. We don't need to dive into these. I'm sure you've seen them before. And my question to you is just looking over this list, and maybe snap a picture if you need to remember to come back and do this. Do you have one activity from each of these 6 inside of your daily or at least weekly calendar? Do you work on committing to self-mastery every morning? I mean, an easy way to do that, what I do, when I'm putting on my makeup and drying my hair, I'm also listening to a podcast or a book. That's making me better. That's working on myself. I'm focusing on what matters most through the 20-80-20 principle because I already have built my calendar with lead generation, with lead follow-up, with the 5 job descriptions of an agent, appointments, negotiating contracts, and practicing and role-playing. So E to P is my favorite. That's just working on taking what you're naturally good at and becoming better, adding a new system or a tool. Do you have things in your business right now that if you just tweaked it a tiny bit, it could be better? That's what I'm always looking for. You guys are learning based because you're here. You understand the value of getting this negative talk out of your head. And how are your hacks to help you do that? Just know that you acknowledge it. It's fine. You can come into my brain. You just can't stay. You got to get out. And then really the important piece of all of this is being accountable, whether it's to someone in your office or a coach. I have not been without a coach since 2011. My production has grown every year. So I'm just going to associate the two, that it's okay. Like, that is an expense that is rather instead an investment. It's an investment on me and my family for sure. So here's the kicker for real estate agents that I've found. 19 years in the business is, gosh, it's a like person who can vote and buy cigarettes and, you know, they're like a really mature person. That's 19 years of a life. And the thing I found is that with, like many of you, I'm sure you understand the stress of this career. You are paid in direct proportion to the service you provide, which can be very stressful at times. And people can eat you up if you allow it. And so I had to have a huge breakdown in order for me to get through and figure out what really matters most to me. And this happened around 2014, 2015. And my breakdown allowed me to discover that, it all happened when well, there's a few factors thrown in here. I'll spare you the whole story. But I was at a mastermind in, I don't know if you remember when we went to Amelia Island.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Yes.
Yeah.
So this was one of my breakdown moments when I had an aha. We were sitting around the dinner table, me and 2 girlfriends and a MAPS coach. I don't know if you remember Joel Rico. Do you remember Joel?
Yeah. Absolutely. California,
Super,
something like that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, super great coach in our company. He taught a class called Language of Sales. He's really, he asks really great questions. And that's what's cool about our company. We're sitting around talking and somehow, because we're total dorks, and this is what KW agents do, we talk about our big why. And I thought, as my girlfriends are talking, I thought, oh my God, what's my big why? What's my big why? I know I should have one. I know I should have something. What is it? What is it? Oh God, I don't want it to be my turn. And finally it's my turn. And I look at him, and it wasn't really him quizzing. It was more of just a table conversation. And I said, I don't know what my big why is. I mean, of course I care about my daughter going to college and having it paid for. Of course I care about family vacations and no debt and all that stuff. But that does not fire me up to get my butt out of bed every day, to pick up the phone, to call people who I don't know, or even those that I do know. Like, that does not motivate me. And so he said, well, Jennie, it's really just like the $20 million question. And of course, I didn't know what that meant. So he told me. So you guys can just kind of pretend and play along with me here. He said, it's like this. Pretend that you have $20 million in the bank right now, and it's sitting there for you. It's earning so much interest every day that you can't even spend it all, even if you tried. And you've traveled the world to all your amazing destination dream vacations you've ever thought of. And you've bought all the things that you've ever desired, the shoes, the purses, you have a boat, you have a house at the beach, a house in the mountains. Just envision that everything you could have ever desired, you have. And you've also given back to all of your favorite nonprofits or your church. You've given and given. Now, when you wake up tomorrow, what do you do? And the reason that him asking that question that way really sparked something in me was that it took out the reason or the need to make money. Money wasn't a part of that question. It was what's in your heart and what is your passion? What do you care about? And that's when I woke up that next morning at 4 a.m. This is before I got up early, and I started journaling, and I still don't journal. So it really had sparked something in me to at least think about, if money didn't matter, what would I do? And that's when I really discovered what I would do is I would give back. I love sharing and training and inspiring, empowering others to discover their best selves. Because what I've learned in my years with Keller Williams, I had never learned before. This company's changed my life. These training classes have changed my life. You can ask my husband and my daughter. We've been to Disney World 9 times. She's never missed a year, multiple times in some years. So I think that she could say that mommy doing what she loves, helping families buy and sell houses, allows us to do what we love. And so that's where I get into the story of mission is so important, because whatever you guys just thought of in your mind, if you thought, well, I love giving in this way, or I love dogs, or I love whatever your thing is, like who are you in your heart? How could you attach that to your business so that you could see that when I pick up the phone, I lead generate and I talk to people because I'm good at helping people. That allows me to earn money that allows us to do this, or me to give to that, or my family to achieve these goals. And so that's where I just like to share the switching of the thoughts around. So I actually teach Quantum Leap for young adults. And this is an exercise that we have them do. So if you guys just want to snap it, snap a picture of this because I want you to come back to it and think through it later. We don't have time to really allow for you to dive deep into this right now, but think about question number 1. What are you moved to set in motion that creates a positive ripple effect in the world? So basically, what do you love to do? What are you drawn to? Who are you? What matters to you? And then number 2, go ahead and take a picture of this because this helps you finish it up here. What gives you energy? What's something that if you were not even paid to do it, you still would do it, and you just get lost when you're doing that activity? And then what you would do is you take that first question and put it together with the second, and it would give you a very rough draft because of course we know we're not going to be married to this mission statement. We're just dating it, as we like to say. And you just would put it together. The mission for my life is to answer to number 1 by implementing or through or with answer to number 2. So lots of people, when they really take the time to think through this, they get surprised to find that they have something in them that they didn't know. Now, your big why and your mission statement doesn't have to be life-changing. It doesn't have to be saving the whales, but it does need to be something that pumps you up, that you can go, I don't want to make calls today, and I also do want to go to Disney World. So in order for me to do that, I'm going to do this. So here's what we came up with as a real estate team. So first, I'm going to make sure that, let's see if this populates. Okay, cool. See if this works. So here is my mission statement that I got to come up with over the years. This is like a 4th or 5th draft. So it just gives you an idea of, it takes time working through the words and the meaning that you want to get to. But I discovered that mine was to empower others through coaching and training, to inspire confidence and change through positive mindset and tools, which encourage big thinking and action taking. And so that's just a way that I like to share an idea of a mission statement for you.
Jenny, can I ask a real quick question?
Of course.
Did you do any of the Simon Sinek Start With Why and Find Your Why book courses, workshops? Did you ever do that?
I think I have it right here on my desk, and I have not gotten all the way through it. So I love Simon, and I think that's a brilliant place for people to start, is the find your why, and then this one is that's the find your why. What's the first one? Start with why.
Start with why. Yeah.
And I think that's a brilliant way for people to get in the right mindset of discovering that what's in your heart is going to really be magical when you put it into your business. So just as a quick little snapshot, again, you guys can just take a picture of this if you want, as a real estate team. So imagine if that's who I am as a person. I'm going to have a team that believes that way and thinks that way too, because I'm the culture keeper of my team. So we sit down as a team and we say, okay, well, we need to work on this MVVBP because Keller Williams tells me I should. My mission, my vision, my values, my beliefs, and my perspectives. And so we knock this out as a team. You know, the top part here is really our mission statement. And then this promise part is really related to the promise. You guys have heard of the promise from Tony Baroni, presented it in bold, and Mike Hicks had originated it years and years ago when Mike Hicks had announced how he held himself and his team accountable to generating referrals, called the promise. We had flown him out to our area and we'd bought him at an auction. So we had Mike Hicks come to town and share how to implement the promise to our team. And so this is just the overview, and you guys can copy it and share it, whatever you want to do with it. But it is very defining. Like if you read through our mission statement, you can tell who we are as a team. Our promise is deliver the highest quality client experience with a sense of warmth and friendliness. We have a learning-based culture dedicated to giving back to our clients and the community. We commit to support our local business partners and empower our youth through education and personal growth. So you could really break that down and see who we are. So it makes it really clear for us to be able to say yes and no to certain things, because we have a filter. That's what a mission is. It's a filter. It allows you to know what's acceptable and what fits into your world and what does not. So we use our mission as a filter. So here we say that we're going to give an amazing client experience, and we tell our clients that we will. So therefore we must do it because we said we would. And then we are going to give back to our clients in the community. We give back to our clients because we have fun client events. We give to their favorite nonprofit when we have closing. And that's, and then also strategic giving when it comes to end of year and client events as well. And then we also support local business partners because we do business to business type interviews, and you'll see those on Zoom. We do recordings on Zoom. We share it on our Facebook page. I have a public page called Tulsa Looks Good on You. And so you guys could make one of these public pages where you just share all the great things that your city has to offer, and making it not about real estate, but about the community. And then lastly, me and Brittany on my team both teach Quantum Leap for young adults. And so that's how we give back to our youth, is by training and educating them as well. So this is a lot of information already just in this short period of time. And the way that my brain works is I'm a systems person and a checklist. So I'm going to always start with that. So for me, that's called a GPS. And you guys have probably heard of it. A GPS is just a goal setting system and tool that allows you to think really big and then set actionable items inside of the goal. So the big goal is the G. You have 3 priorities and you have 5 strategies. Well, one time I heard, I think it was a Bold coach, J. Michael Manley said this one time in the Bold Room. He said, what if you created your GPS and the priorities were leads, listings, and leverage? I was like, well, that makes a lot of sense, since, you know, that's kind of important in the Red Book, The Millionaire Real Estate Agent. That's what everything is in Gary's world, is a triangle. So what we did was and it's a big old mess, you guys, don't get overwhelmed, but here's our goal for the year. So right now we're in August. It is not far from when you need to start planning for 2021. So go ahead and just pretend that that's where we're going. And so what is going to be your big goal for next year? So our big goal was 185 families. So inside of leads, how are we going to attract enough leads that will help us help 185 families. Well, we're going to market to our database. These rock stars right here, that's what we call our VIP program. So we're going to love on them, and then all the details that go inside of it. We're going to focus on generating referrals. How are we going to do that? Those referrals come from our database. How are we going to love on our business partners, nonprofits, our local business community? Because remember, that was part of our mission statement. And then our community itself. We want to volunteer. We want to be good stewards in our community. And then we take the same idea, and this literally was a mid-year team retreat, and then even an annual retreat. Like, you put up the flip charts and you brainstorm. What are ways that in our lead generation what are we going to do with that? What does that look like? How are we going to do that? So I share all of this with you. I know it's tons of information. It's just that's how you need to frame your business, because if you don't know what you're going to do, then you won't do anything. Right?
Like how you said that, for sure.
Yeah. So in your lead gen, you guys know all the rules of the database. You got to build it, you got to feed it, and you can communicate with it. And then you'll get all these great leads that you get to service. We've been doing this fun call in to win. It's my name for a reverse bold 100. Have you guys heard of the reverse bold 100? Yeah, so I see lots of head nods. If you don't,
you know what, a few of us have, Jenny, but maybe you just want to give everybody a brief overview for those who haven't heard of it, because we do have some guests who aren't KW here.
Yeah. Well, I was going to give you a little snapshot. So for one thing, before I get started, you don't know me very well, but you will. I have everything documented. So this is a whole system I already have created for you guys. So you don't need to worry about that right now, because you can go in my group and just search for Reverse Bold 100 and you can just download that. But what the idea is for the Reverse Bold 100 is that the goal is to have 100 people call into your office in one day. How awesome is that? You're not outbound calling. They want to call you. I mean, this is like, when I first heard of this, I was like, brilliant. I'm all about it. Now as a team, we've done it 4 times. And so we've really gotten better and better at the systems and the tools to use and how to make it more efficient. And so the last one was our biggest success. We gave away one of those medium-sized big green eggs. They are very popular, the smoker grill things. So for us here, those are about $700-ish. So what we did was we said to our vendor partners who were typically partnering with us during client events in the old days, since everybody's off the hook for budget, right? Like, our P&L right now is so happy because we're not spending any money on client events. So instead, we've done 4 of these in the last 6 months. Well, let me back up. Since COVID has hit, we've done 2 different call in to win days, but it's so much fun. And I do map it all out for you guys. You can go find it. But basically, with a couple weeks in advance, you start promoting and marketing that you're going to have a giveaway. So they have to call in order to win on that day between this time, and they need to talk to you. That is key. The point of this is a conversation. You can figure out your own little system. Some people like, can't they text? Can't they email? And I'm like, for us, the point is to have a conversation, because in the conversation is where the magic happens. Because we have a Google form set up, and actually how we've done this both times during COVID, we've just been on Zoom together as a team, just like in gallery view, we can see everybody on the team, and everybody has their own Google form pulled up. They have their phone. We might mute ourselves if needed. If we have a phone call come in, we have the people call the Google voice number. So that means that it spreads out to the team. So whoever takes it gets it. And then we say, oh my gosh, Irene, I'm so excited that you've called. I'll get you registered for the Big Green Egg. Let me just confirm some of your contact information. Okay, your name, your phone number. I see it here. Is it da-da-da? And your email address. And, okay, and your home address. What's that? Perfect. Oh, and by the way, if you can think of somebody else who may need to buy or sell a home that we can reach out to, I can put you in the drawing twice. Can you think of anybody?
I like that.
Yeah, so now we're gathering data that we may not have had, because what we learned is that we want to post this everywhere. So this is getting put on Facebook. So unmets are also seeing it. People that are not in our database. So we're capturing new people into our world. We're sending it to our whole database that might include people that were random web leads from years ago that we've never connected with them, but now they're going to call in to get a prize. And it's amazing. It's so much fun because now we're gathering all these missing pieces of data. And now if they've called us, well, now we're considering them a met because they've raised their hand that they want to be in our world some more. So now they're going to get tagged differently. They're going to get extra love from us. And then if they share a referral with us, well, in our book, by our definition, if you share a referral with us, you become what we call a rock star, one of our VIP. So you could have gone from being a random web lead years ago, and now you've called us and you've shared a referral. Instantly, you're going to get brownies in the mail. Thank you for sharing our name. Like then we, fast forward the process of now you're a part of us. So don't even think about not coming back. So it just becomes a great way. Grow your database, love on your database, have lots of fun as a team. It really checks all the boxes when it comes to client events. Oh, and then a couple other ways that we add some goodness in here is that we, like I said, have sponsors help out. So title rep or insurance or who else helped us? A home warranty rep. They all pitched in. So it cost $0 for this event, this call-in event. And so we just made sure that we had a day where we posted and shared and tagged them as being a sponsor. So that way we're helping promote their business. And then of course we always attach a way to give back to the community. So we always are gonna have, a promotion of a nonprofit as well along the way. So that's just a great thing. Do we need to pause on that and get any questions? Anybody got it?
No, I think everybody seems to be pretty clear. Awesome.
Did somebody say something? Good. Okay. So something else that we've added in, and honestly, we've only run a couple of these so far, but now it's just going to be a system and it's going to be on our calendar because with this new virtual world, guys, efficiency is so awesome. So just like you're doing anything virtually these days, mostly through Zoom for us, we're just having seller and buyer workshops. So it's so easy for me. The last one, nobody even showed up. And I didn't care because I'm in my home office and I just turn off the computer and I go have a glass of wine with my husband. I mean, how cool is this, right? Like I didn't have to go to the office, sit there, have snacks, and nobody show up. So this is just going to be one of our evergreen, always rotating, always keeping people pushing through. So once I did, let's see if I shared this. What's this look like? Oh, I guess I shared my whole thing. So all I did was I created a very simple Google slide for my presentation that I just would share whenever I'm doing the class, because we did have one and people did show up. And then I have a video here, but all it was me presenting through, I'll turn it down a little bit.
Well, hi guys, it's Jennie Wolek with the Wolek Group, Keller Williams Realty here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I am joined with some of our amazing agents, Nate Ariskog and Brittany Winery, and we are excited to share with you our virtual seller workshop.
That's it. That's all you get. It's just like that. So all I did was thumb through and share our seller presentation. And then you could just do the same with your buyer presentation. So I just wanted to add that in for an idea for you guys. Just get it on your calendar and make sure that you're doing that. Let me get to some other good stuff. Something that we really found is valuable is, and I've used this for years, a pre-listing and a pre-buyer video that goes out to the client. Is that common in your area? Do you guys do that or heard of that?
We do as a team, and we've done it for quite some time. I think there's probably a few people on this call that have. I do like the idea of the pre-listing video.
Yeah. So what it looks like for us is, now let me warn you, for one thing, my face looks funny, so I'm going to hide it. But it's like it froze with crazy lady. So what I do want to always tell people is, like, I'll share videos that today are kind of fancy with intros and outros and music, but they were not always this way. And only recently have I had fancier videos. Otherwise, filmed on my phone. This video itself, I say the same words, I'm just not in a fancy house. I went to one of our listings and I had my team member video me, and it's the same exact words. So basically, and I can share this with you, Irene, you can pass it on. I don't want to play my video right now, but my video says exactly this stuff. We're so excited to meet with you to discuss the future sale of your home. We're confident that our marketing plan will offer you blah, blah, blah. Before we meet, go ahead and click on these links. And if you have a printer, you can print off the disclosure and start filling that out. You'll also find our listing presentation and our online reviews and some other apps that could be helpful for you. So I'm going ahead and addressing all the things that a seller may need to know. If they're a detail person, I'm giving them our whole presentation. They can click on it, it's a PDF. I give them online reviews where they can make sure, this just goes to our Zillow link. So it just, you know, because it's, people still go there, I know. And so we just want to arm them with all this information so that they feel confident moving forward. So we give them homework. And the cool thing about that is when you get there, if they printed it off or they have questions about it, you know you're at a yes.
Yeah.
You get super, super efficient in your appointments when you don't have to start at the beginning. And you could say, so besides pricing and any other strategies that we need to discuss, you know, are you ready to go? Like anything else you want to discuss, because they're already at a yes. You don't have to go through the whole plan. I love, of course, starting with the, in a perfect world, tell me what this looks like for you, and then let's go from there.
Do you have any analytics or anything that shows how many people have actually opened your videos?
Yeah, you can totally watch it. So that's the cool thing, is we send those out through BombBomb, BOMBOMB.com. And we just have it BombBomb at the very low level. I think it's like the $29.99 a month, because we really just use BombBomb for the one-off videos. So like, we don't usually mass send it to our whole database. We just more send it to the new listing, new buyer, seller under contract, seller new on the market. And so think of your transactions right now and just write out every touch point. When you have a new buyer, they go under contract a couple weeks before closing, right before closing, right after closing. So could you just make a video that says, hey, we're so excited you're under contract. Here's the next steps. Here's what we're working on. Here's what you're working on. We got you. Of course, you're still going to stay in touch with your clients. This doesn't let you off the hook. This just allows them in their inbox that they see a video of you telling them what to do, giving them an update, all that good stuff. So, and yes, you can totally track through BombBomb. That's the reason I actually switched to BombBomb, because back whenever I started this a long time ago, because you could even put, I mean, instead of a read receipt like you could do on a normal email, if you wanted to do it on the cheap, you could at least see that they opened the video. Yeah.
Right. Thanks.
Yeah, you bet. So agent to agent referrals are quite a thing, whether you realize it or not. 30% of our business actually comes from out-of-town agent referrals, which is super awesome. And so what I would share with you guys is, don't forget about those relationships, because especially with our company, we travel to client events, or now we're all online together. What a great way to build another leg of your business through an agent database. So honestly, again, I told you I have systems for everything. So we know how many out-of-town realtors are in our database. We have them tagged. There's a system and a plan that goes along with all of them. I'm always gonna, you know, like, okay, so yeah, I have quite a bit of a system on that.
Oh.
So the point is,
systematized for agents.
I know. Doesn't it make your brain hurt? Yeah, that's my brain.
No, I love it. I have to get that from you.
Yeah. So I'll start with really quick. The thing about agent referrals is now there's so many different places to build relationships through Facebook, through Instagram, through LinkedIn, through all of our Keller Williams world. There's so many places. So just have a plan. So I guess my first point would be, is this a part of your business currently? And if not, or if it is, could you grow it? And just if you take your average sales price times 10 additional agent referrals, deduct out the referral fee, that is awesome money. I mean, we've closed 20 already this year. So, I mean, I am going to welcome an agent referral all day long because it's coming to me just like a database referral. It's coming to me warm to hot. They are already going to trust us and like us, and we don't have to do as much conversion because their agent has hopefully done that for them. Now, not all are the same. Some of them come through more like a lead, and that's okay too. But just think about, how could I grow that, and what could that look like? So keep that in mind for your growth with your business.
Jenny, maybe I can pop in here for a bit. Our touch plan is threefold for us, for our team. So we have our data, I guess four. We have our database, which is email and hard copy. So that's kind of two. And then we have our farm, and then we have our out of area agents. So right now we're finding it a little bit tough to plan everything in advance right now, just because it is a little bit touch and go. So right now we're doing sort of a month at a time. But for 2021, we've got, okay, so what are we doing to the database? What are we doing to the farm? And what are we doing for our out of area agents? Because for those either on this call or watching afterwards, it's such a gold mine. And Jenny, it never ceases to amaze me how few agents actually mine that gold mine. Because it really is, it's not something that needs to cost anything. It's really like all you're doing is building the relationship and making sure that people out there, agents out there, know that you're here. Like, that's it.
One secret, Irene, I'll say, I've seen you speak up many times on that Pivot Shift Ahead call. There's you can tell a handful of people that share and connect on there. I'm sure that people know you as the Canadian lady on the call. I mean, right? Like that, like all you have to do is show up. Like, it doesn't take much.
Show up and contribute. Yeah. And I actually, a couple of weeks ago, I got my first referral, out of area agent referral from San Antonio, and it was directly attributed to the Pivot Shift group.
Isn't that crazy?
She said, she's doing her care calls, and she has family all around the world. And she was calling her cousin in Toronto who said, I want to buy a house. And she said, like, Irene, like, I listened to you talk, and like, you're the one I thought of. So, and you're right, it is usually warm to hot.
Yeah, I love it. That is so exciting.
Such an untapped resource for so many realtors.
So just like Irene is saying, like you do your local database, just have some kind of a system in place, whether it's a monthly email to them. How are you going to add value? What can you, do you have all their contact information? Will they think of you? Can you give them a care call? So all that good stuff. So I call affiliate referrals. This to me is going to be like our local database. So these would be the business to business relationships, restaurant owners, business owners, nonprofit executive directors, those people here in town that have a business or have a network or have a referral type business that they understand how we work. And so we invite them in too. So for example, well, let me go back. Let's see, I don't have a link on this one, but let me share with you the idea here is that, do you have a need for, this is exactly like, if you remember from the old days, was the Yellow Pages exercise, where you would go through who do we need in our database? So I would just reach out to them and I would say, hey, Irene, it's Jenny with Keller Williams Realty, and I got your name from Sally. She mentioned that you had an amazing landscaping business. And, I sell houses, so we always come across clients who may need services like yours. Are you looking to grow your business? Are you looking for referrals? And they'll be like, well, yes, of course. And well, great. Could we get together and chat about, our businesses so that we can help each other out? And then, what I've done is I've just fast forwarded that. I've just cut through all that chase. That's what I used to do. Now I say, hey, Irene, I love promoting and sharing local businesses, and I heard that you're great at what you do. Would you mind hopping on a Zoom with me for a 3 to 5 minute chat? And I'll let you share who you are, what you do, what services you offer, and then how people can find you. And I'm going to share it on my database and with my network. And so if you guys want to go look for some ideas, if you go to the Wallet group on YouTube, I have a playlist and it's called Tulsa Looks Good on You. So you can just see all of these Zoom interviews that I've done, like 50 in the past few months, with local businesses or people who need help. Like, they are so grateful that we are helping them and we are getting their name out. And that was just my goal early on, was how can I give back to my community that really will have a big impact. So I wanted to skip ahead to Clients for Life, because as I've laid all this out for you guys, hopefully you just see that the point is that when you have systems in place and you love on your database, you know why you're doing what you're doing, that it's so much fun and you want to share it with your clients. And so even when I'm calling right after close and I'm thanking them for allowing us to work with them, that I get to share with them how grateful we are and why helping them matters. So just real quick, we do every year a mid-year review. So we did one this year, of course, by Zoom in June, and we went through our customer experience. This is actually a Keller Williams University class, and they have the 5S model. And if you look at the 5S model, you could go to KW Connect and download it. You could look at the manual, all the stuff. But it's 5 S's stand for, you're going to set expectations with your client. You're going to serve them, you're going to make sure you do what you say you're going to do. You're going to survey, because you're going to check in along the process, make sure that they're doing great and that you're doing what you said you would. You're going to surpass expectations, because that's when you get to surprise and delight them. And you're going to sustain the relationship. This is forever. This is where I say, this is just the beginning. We aren't a transactional team. We care about you for life. And so check your email, watch for posts on Facebook from us, because you're going to see all the upcoming fun and events. So I challenge you guys to think through your current business. And the one that we thought of as a team was, yeah, we do that pretty good. We're good at that. We're good at that. You know, how do we surpass expectations inside of a transaction for clients? We do what we're supposed to do. We keep them informed, but how do we surprise and delight them? And so something we came up with was, you know, what about if, because buyers and sellers both go under contract or pending, whatever you call it. And so maybe we give them a gift at that time to celebrate that their home is sold or that they're buying a house. So we just have a little swag bag that has some bubbly in it, says, congratulations, get packing, time to get packing. You're great. We are so happy to work with great clients like you. So really think about something in your business where you can have a little bit of wow factor going on. And here's one that we love to do is we do these welcome home signs. You can find these on Amazon. I think people are finding them for like 60, 70 bucks for all of those letters. And so what we do is we sneak off, you know, after the walkthrough, before, I don't know if you guys, you may not have homes with yards, do you? I don't know it. Okay, good. I didn't know if you're like condo living or what, but
little postage stamps.
Okay, good. So we add these, we sneak these in the front yard before they come home. So it's just a fun way for them to go, oh my gosh, how exciting.
It's very cute.
Yeah, this little sign right here is just a corrugated sign. We had our local graphics guy do it for us. You can kind of see it. It says, sold by the Wallet Group. So that's just a way we get our name in the front yard of a buy side closing, right? And now there's a couple key things I have to tell you. Make sure you tell your clients you're coming back for them, because they'll throw them away, lesson learned. And then make sure that you get corrugated signs, because cardboard will get taken down by sprinklers and rain. Those are the lessons that I've learned.
Sounds like you've been there.
And then lastly, I shared with you guys the value in all of this for us is really repeat and referral business. Like, that's why we do what we do, because we love helping people. Well, people who share their love back to us get to be part of our Rockstar program. And so we are relaunching this. And I actually just posted in my group yesterday our email blast that just went out to them that said, hey, here's, you're so special, you are a rock star, and here's what this means. You're going to get exclusive giveaways and fun whenever you are a part of this world. So check your inbox and join the Facebook group. So you'll see a whole post there about all the stuff that we're going to do in there. All right, so I think I filled up all my time. And
that's okay. No, that's awesome. I made a whole ton of notes. So thank
you. Let me hear.
I'll be coming to you for some
yeah, for sure. Absolutely. So I want to hear some ahas, some takeaways, or some things that you want to put in your business, or just questions that you might have.
Yeah. Who's got something either to tell us or to ask? Oh my gosh, you Canadians, you're so quiet.
Well. Hi, Chip.
Hi. I love your idea of the reverse, having them call in. I forget what you call it now. But, giving something away, I could see doing that for lots of different applications, even if it was just dinner for two at a restaurant, or it wouldn't have to be a huge thing. So I think that's great. So
yeah, it's so fun too.
It is. When you send the brownies, do you send out cards?
Well, it's the AM cards. Remember that they came through at the end of bold. So I think they were related, but same thing.
Yeah, same idea. Great ideas. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
A couple of really cute things for me, Jenny. The pre-listing video, I really like the idea of that. We do send a package out, either by email, hard copy, or both, if we have time to do both. Especially if it's a higher end property, we'll send out our book. But I love the idea of a video, even a short one, because people really do respond. And that welcome home, I love it. I love it. It is just, it's so cute, and it's inexpensive, and it's so appreciated. And when they get there, like, they're exhausted, and it's just a nice smile, right?
Well, then they take a picture of it and they tag the team, they tag their agent. Like, it just has these warm fuzzies all around it. They'll have their kids stand in front of it and they're so excited. So it's so much fun. Yeah, that's it. I mean, that's the thing, right? Like, we have the responsibility. We have a big responsibility in this business. And I feel like our even bigger responsibility is to help people have the most enjoyable experience in something that is very stressful at times. And so how can we do our part? If they call us, we failed. We need to be so proactive and not allowing that to happen. And we only can do that if we have great systems in place and checklists, and have set great expectations so that they know we're going to call them. So they don't need to worry. They just know that we got them.
Yeah, no, that's true. You're right. By the time they call you, it's too late.
Yeah.
Unless, of course, they're just calling you to tell you that they have a referral. That's always.
Then that's okay.
That's for how great you are.
Yes, we're okay with those, but unfortunately, that's typically not it.
I actually like the not just the pre-listing video, but I like the idea of the touch point videos.
Yes.
Because really, just like what you guys were saying, is that's where we can fall down, is on the communication. But the fact that it's not just a phone call or a text, that they're actually seeing your face can calm things down, and you're not having to be there to do it because it's already, can be scheduled through email, things like that. So I think that was a very good point.
Melanie, you're so right, because what was happening when I was a busy single agent is that I was needing to call to tell them the next steps. And I'm like, I say the same thing over and over again. Congratulations, how exciting, you're under contract. We're going to get the contract signed. We'll get it over the title company. We'll get a copy to the lender. All the things that you say. Next time you say it, just record yourself. Don't say their name, and then upload it into a bomb or put it in a video, put it on YouTube, and then send it.
Yeah. No,
it's have the text. And having the text below, so like, here's your responsibilities, here's what we're taking care of, call if you need anything, we'll be in touch, or whatever. So they're seeing your video, they're reading the text, and so you've given a great touch point, and then you can say, you know, talk to you at the next place, you know, whatever it is. So
Yeah, no, excellent.
If I could jump on that for a second, sorry, Claire, one sec. Just as you're talking about, you touched on something great, especially for some of the single agents that are managing their expenses. Rather than having a service like BombBomb or something, you can use Zoom, and I've done this. You can have a Zoom with just yourself and record it, and then you get a link and you upload that to YouTube, and now you just have a YouTube link that you can send out super quick on the video. So you don't even need to have a full service because the service is more for having more of an automated thing, right? You're going under contract, or you're we call it sole conditional here, there rather than title. Anyway, they're all different dates. So just do it, Zoom to yourself, record it, and upload it to YouTube.
Love it.
Brilliant. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, great idea.
Yeah.
Oh, I like bullet points too. I love that 5 S's, and I've never heard that before.
I haven't either. That's awesome.
I've never heard that one before, and what a great way to think through how you want to represent yourself.
Yeah.
I like to check things off.
And systematizing, elevating that customer experience, like I hadn't heard of it either, and that's going to be the topic of our next office meeting.
I was going to say, yeah.
That trigger to say, how can I surpass expectation? Just the trigger, just that trigger of, okay, how am I going to surpass their expectations? And then how am I going to sustain? And you think that you're going to do it all the time, but we're busy and we're jumping from one thing to the other. And like, I have a note on my door that reminds me to take the stairs instead of the elevator. So it's really nice to have a system that's implemented at different parts of my business where I say, okay, how am I going to, so I'm already thinking, like with the GPS, at each priority, as I'm going through the strategies, I'm going to say, okay, how am I going to sustain? How am I going to set, like, it's a great way to do it. Thank you so much. That's awesome.
You're so welcome. And what's so great about that is I didn't come up with any of that myself. I'm a Keller Williams University instructor. I love teaching. So if you guys go to KW Connect, click on courses, search for customer experience, you can find all the stuff. So what I found is that I chunked it way down. So now I just teach it, just really that 5S model of, you know, all of those, and then what we do in our business at each of those, because the class is a full day class and it actually put me to sleep as I was teaching it. So you might want to work through it to see what really is important. But great takeaways. You guys gave me goosies. Thank you.
Yeah, no, this is awesome. And I have more notes that I'm going to share with everybody. I imagine, you know, we did have quite a few people registered that probably just had their plans changed. I would imagine after the recordings watched, you might start getting a few more.
That's great.
Calls and everything.
Awesome.
Well, thank you so much. We so appreciate your time. You know how busy you are, and this is just, we're so grateful. I'm grateful. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. You all stay positive and go help people.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Thank you for
Bye,
letting
everybody.
me you come in on your center classes.
Yeah, whatever you need. Talk to y'all later.
Okay. Bye, guys.
Bye.